everybody. I am at week 30, and honestly, we've had so many things go on. If you've been following my posts on Facebook, I've kind of tried to keep it a little bit updated. I haven't gone into all the details, but because I haven't really been ready to, and I have started recording for this vlog multiple times in the past few weeks, and I just really couldn't find the words that I wanted to communicate, everything that's been kind of going on. So let's just get started and see how this goes. Y'all know my placenta is low, so it's a placenta marginal, I think is what it's called. Placenta is covering the cervix, which is a problem. The cervix also was inadequate. The last that I updated y'all, I think it was stable. So that was kind of the backstory. So at week 24, I had bleeding. And so we go into triage, and they said it was a UTI. So, they're like, it's going to be fine. Send me home with medicine. And throughout that whole week, I had bleeding off and on. And sometimes it was not super concerning, and other times, I was like, doesn't seem normal, like, I don't know what to do. So I would call triage, and I would just ask them their opinion, like, is this normal? Do I need to come in again? What do I do? And the nurses there are super nice, and they would talk me through it and be like, do you still feel your baby moving? Are you in pain? All those sort of things. And they said with the UTI, you're extra sensitive, and that can cause bleeding, especially when you're pregnant. So I was feeling anxious pretty much that whole week. And so we made it through the week, and I might be all messed up on my weeks because I'm kind of confused. But I know I was week 26. It was a Monday morning, and I woke up, went to the bathroom, and I will not go into all the details, but there was a lot of blood. There was enough blood that I still feel like that whole situation is a bit traumatic for me to talk about, because there was enough blood that I was in panic. Like, I felt so much panic at that moment, and I woke Josh up, and we go to the hospital. And for those of you guys who know me and who have heard me talk about Zane, Zane moves so much. Like, he moves 24/7. Big moves, like jumping around in there, doing all the things. And after I went to the bathroom that morning and had that incident, the entire drive from here to the hospital, which is about 30 to 35 minutes, I felt nothing. He would not move. And it makes me emotional, I think, because it's just all of the emotions I felt at that moment. They're still like, it doesn't feel like that much time has passed, and everything is okay now, but it's still hard to think about those moments. So the long story short is that we get to the hospital, they set up the monitors. Zane started moving when we're in the elevator, getting off onto the floor, the check-in floor, of course. So that gave, like, it's funny because I'm like, he's just playing games with me, like, what is going on? So we get there, they end up admitting me into the hospital. I had IV, they gave me shots, they gave me like steroid shots for Zane's lungs, because at that point they were preparing for me to have an emergency C-section, and they wanted to be ready if that needed to happen, because I was bleeding at that point and I was having contractions. So they put me on magnesium for 24 hours. They had the shots for Zane's lungs to give him the boost and all that. And I mean, they gave me that binder that you get whenever you go in to deliver your baby. They sent me up to the floor that people deliver their babies. Like, you know, we were there for 5 days. And every day it was like, well, we're going to see how it's going. You're still having contractions. We're going to see where we're at tomorrow. And then tomorrow would come, and then it's the same thing, basically. They just wanted to make sure that everything was stabilized. They didn't want the contractions to throw me into labor. They didn't want the bleeding to pick up, and then we have another problem. So anyway, everything continued to get better each day that we were there. So they did end up sending us home. Like I said, we were there for 5 days. So it was a long stay, but everything has been good. Since we've been home, I'm on bed rest now. So, I mean, literally, I am just like in bed or on the couch watching TV or doing word search puzzles or napping. Like, I don't do anything really other than drink a ton of water, go pee a million times. But things have been more under control since we've gotten back home. So I have not been to the hospital in like almost 2 weeks. That everything has been good. I'm starting to feel more relaxed, and I'm starting to feel like more separation from me and from that event, if that makes sense. And if I can be of any encouragement to you guys, I kind of described the panic that I felt whenever I woke up and had that experience, and then having to go to the hospital 30 minutes away. When I woke up, yes, I felt complete panic and fear. I couldn't even think straight. But that whole week before we had this incident, whenever I had the UTI and had issues already starting, I started reading the Bible a lot because I had a lot of fear and anxiety about all of this and how would this turn out. It's not comforting when you're pregnant and when you're having these issues. So I read the Bible a lot, and let me tell you, when I woke up, went to the bathroom, felt that fear and felt that panic, and that was very, very real. But whenever I got in the car, yes, I still felt like I had no idea what was going to happen, or I had no idea what was going on, or nothing felt okay at that moment. But it's like the supernatural kicked in, and I felt peace. And all those Bible verses that I had been reading and studying and meditating on throughout the week before, they all came back. And I mean, that entire car ride, just it was an out-of-body experience where I felt nervous, but at the same time, I knew that God was with me, that it was going to be okay. Whatever it was that was coming, whatever it was, that would happen at the hospital, I knew that everything was going to be okay. All the Bible verses I had been reading just started coming out. I just started praying, and all the things just took over my mind. And I think that that's something that we hear all the time, that you have to fill your mind with good things. And the Bible talks a lot about that, to fill your mind with good things. And me really strengthening my mind that week before, whenever it was already kind of starting to get rocky, and really starting to fill my mind with good things, with God's promises to me and to Zane. Whenever I had that crisis moment, yes, I felt that panic and that fear. But as soon as that hits, the supernatural hits too. And all that stuff comes back. And so I think that that's just, it's encouragement for me, and I hope it's encouraging to you, that you may not be going through a crisis right now, but fill your mind, fill your spirit with things that will make it strong. Because when you do hit that crisis point, I promise you that all the things that you've been dwelling on in your mind, they're going to come out, good or bad. And so, up to now, we're at 30 weeks. Zane has, he is still in there. He's still cooking, and I'm on bed rest till who knows when. We're going to get updates at our next few doctor's visits. And at that point, I'll try to update you guys on what we're looking at. Hopefully Zane will stay in there until we hit full term. But we've made it into the 3rd trimester, and he's still growing and he's still healthy. Everything's fine. For some reason, my body, it's been a battle, but we're still here, and we're still fighting, and we're still believing God for good things. And we have seen troubles, and we've seen really rough times in the last month. But we've seen so many good things too. And we've had so many people who have reached out to us, who have been praying for us, who came and visited us at the hospital, people who brought us food. We've gotten so much food. And if you guys have been any part of that, you've left nice comments, you've prayed for us, and you've believed with us, and you've encouraged us. All the things, thank you. You'll never know the impact that you've had on me, on Zane, on Josh, on our family. We're so thankful for all the people who have just shown so much love to us. And I'm just emotional, probably, because I'm pregnant, but it's been a long few weeks, guys. Also, if you've made it to the end of the video, I am going to try to edit the video as good as I can, but I'm sure that, I'm coming in with so many weeks of content that it's really hard for me to keep everything straight. So hopefully all of it was able to make sense. And hopefully I was able to communicate things the way that I wanted to. But continue praying for us, continue believing with us. And thank you so much for watching, for all the support, all the love. We really appreciate it. Bye!